Welcome back to another episode of TBTV. I'm Tyler and I'm joined by my co-host Jake. There's a lot of movie news to talk about and we've been gone for a while, but the main things we are going to talk about today that will take up most of the episode is the Dune 3 trailer just came out and the Odyssey comes out next week. So I think both of those movies are shaping up to easily be two of the biggest movies of the year, and we just kind of want to talk about box office implications and awards talk and what it all could mean for both of those movies. So I guess we could talk about Dune 3 first because that's what most people are probably going to click on the video for. You famously do not like the first two movies that much.
So, I just watched right before we hit record. I watched the new trailer for Dune Part Three, and it feels a little bit like you remember when the first like a big assassination attempt on Trump's life happened, and he got back up and he had blood on his face and he went fight. It had like,
Yes.
that iconic image, and like all the Democrats were like, unfortunately, that goes really hard. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
unfortunately, that's kind of badass. And as a hater of Dune, having just watched the new Dune 3 trailer, I'm like, unfortunately, that goes hard. Like that is pretty sick. And it's got me like I didn't think anything could get me hyped for Dune because I felt I know a lot of people this has a big fan base and it's well deserved. I'm not saying like there's nothing good about the movies. Just for me, both movies and even as someone who like usually goes for the religious angle on things, so usually that's enough to like get me engaged. I just couldn't get into the whole plot line. I couldn't get into the whole Paul as Messiah. I couldn't get into the whole like Muslims in space, basically. So I don't know. It was just a little bit. I just couldn't get into it. It just felt flat, very boring, kind of slow, and that kind of thing. But watching this trailer, I'm like, holy shit, that's pretty badass. And I kind of want to see how this all ends now.
Yeah, out of all the Dune movies, this is the one that I knew you would be the most interested in simply because Messiah is literally about everything you like when it comes to religion. It's the whole book of Messiah. It's much shorter than the first Dune book, but I think it's better than the first one because it is essentially a warning about charismatic leaders and what happens when they get to power. So that is literally what the movie's about. Paul becomes the hero, and it's him showing it's Frank Herbert showing us what happens when the hero wins. Sometimes like this can happen and it can be a very bad thing. So I think it looks great. I think I was even kind of a skeptic too with part three because it's not a very action heavy book. It's very dense. It's a lot of political talk, and it goes pretty deep with their discussions on what can happen when the charismatic leader comes up at the top. But I had read that Denis took a lot of creative liberties and infused some action in the war that they briefly mentioned in the book, and I think it looks great and seamless, and it looks like it's going to be extremely epic, somehow even more epic than part two, which I didn't think they would be able to top. So
I
I'm
mean,
pumped.
they're marketing this movie like they're confident in it. You know what I mean? So
For sure. Yeah. And I like today, the trailer came out for everyone, but before that, they held an event at like 10 different IMAX locations around the world, not just the US, but around the world, just to debut the trailer. And the people that went to those IMAX screenings got to see the first 10 minutes of the movie. And the people were saying it's even better than the trailer. They said the intensity feels like Saving Private Ryan in space. Like you feel the stakes immediately.
oh shit. Yeah, I mean, this movie could prove me wrong. I'm gonna rewatch one and two in the run up because this movie was out in December, right?
Yeah, December, I think 18th, same day as Doomsday.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewatch both of the first and the second. I might even watch that prequel show that everybody hated.
Yeah, I never
Uh,
saw that. I never watched it. I need to
what
see
was the
it.
name of that? Prophecy, Dune Prophecy
Yeah,
or
Dune
something.
Prophecy, maybe. Yeah.
People hated on it, but I'm as a chronological nut. Yeah, I feel like I have to watch everything. I'm a completionist, so I'll probably watch that, and maybe my opinion will change. I mean, I remember there being like some scenes still stand out to me, like it said something like, "Oh, he says he's not the Messiah. That's how we know he's the Messiah." Shit like that, and like I remember liking the chemistry between Chalamet and Zendaya. So I don't know. I'm gonna give it another chance, but I'm finally on the Dune 3 hype train.
I think this is the best kind of role for Timothy Chalamet too. He definitely has some overexposure right now, just with his recent awards campaign. It rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, but I feel like when he plays a character that's menacing and just evil, that's when he's at his best. Not like I loved him in Marty Supreme. But this is where I think he thrives because he does like I didn't think he would really be able to feel like that God kind of character in this movie, but he I mean, dude, he nailed it. Like he even the way Denis kind of frames him next to like the large architecture, like you just feel like this guy's very important but also terrifying. Like you don't want to be around him.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like I don't want to say it's a risky casting, but it really is something to see like Jason Momoa bowing down to Timothy
Yeah.
Chalamet because it's like, whoa, this is not how things should be. This something's, and it kind of adds to that sense of like it gives it gravity.
For sure. I'm very excited and I think that I'll talk about the awards thing after this, but I do want to talk about today. There are rumors that I don't necessarily believe, but apparently Doomsday might be moving up a week sooner than its initial release date so that it can get some IMAX screens before Dune comes out. Because after watching the Dune trailer, obviously we know why it's getting the IMAX is because this movie's massive. Like it's just going to feel massive, and Doomsday is going to take the other premium formats. Do you still think that they will release the same day as Dune 3, or do you think Avengers will try to come out a week sooner to get some IMAX screens?
Was there a movie that Robert Downey Jr. and Timothy Chalamet were both in recently?
Um,
The reason why I asked that is because I remember there was some context and there's like an interview context
he interviewed him. Robert Downey Jr. interviewed Chalamet like for a SAG screening for Marty Supreme to like for Oscar hype. That's what it
that
was.
might have been what it was. There was something where they joked that like Doomsday and Dune 3 would be the
Oh yeah,
next Barbenheimer
RDJ said that. He said Doomsday. He's like, let's make it Doomsday.
Doomsday. And so like
Yeah.
this has been happening. This has been talked about for a while. You know, the whole is Doomsday gonna move? And it's funny because it's never like is Dune 3 gonna move? Because they know it's not. You know what I mean? Just the very fact that the narrative is built around that question instead of the other way around should it makes me nervous as a Marvel fan. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's already too late. Like if they were gonna move, they should have. It would have been less of like a it would have been less embarrassing for them to have moved it like a year ago. You know what I mean? Because like there's to my knowledge, there's not much going on in December anyway. If you wanted to capitalize on the IMAX screens and all that shit, like just you should have done it beforehand. Because the longer they've waited, the more embarrassment is going to be in the fallout. And like it feels like it's already too late to me. Because like as soon as you do it, then like it's just going to feed into that narrative of like Marvel's washed up, Marvel can't do it anymore. You know what I mean? So
You nailed it. I agree with you. I think that they will keep their release date because if they do it now, especially with after the trailer, it shows that they are scared. I think it's smart to keep the same date. And this is just solely my opinion. I'm not speaking for everyone, but whenever I first heard that they were coming out the same day, I was upset at both movies. I was upset at Dune 3 and Avengers Doomsday because I thought that they were just going to eat each other and that they both wouldn't be successful. And I was a little nervous for Dune Part 3, oddly enough, because Doomsday to me was like this huge movie. But they have just Dune 3 has proved me wrong with the marketing over and over again, where this movie feels like it's going to be massive. Like it's just going to be so hype. And even with this like they're doing like IMAX screenings for just a trailer release. That's pretty crazy. So I mean, Dune 3 feels like it's going to be massive. But if you're Doomsday, stick to it because I think you have a greater chance of having a Barbenheimer situation than if you were to move a week earlier. I think everyone's just going to forget about Doomsday and then go watch Dune 3. I think they should keep the release date the same.
dude, I'm nervous for Feige, man, because like people aren't talking about Dune like being hyped for Dune 3 and Doomsday together. What they're doing is talking about Dune 3 in the same sentence as the Odyssey. And then when Doomsday is brought up, it's like, oh yeah, what the hell is that Robert Downey Jr. shit all about? Anyway, I hope we get
Good
Toby back.
point.
You know
Good
what I mean?
point.
So it's not even in the same league, and it might be too late to even get it in the same league now. Like there's just like even if Doomsday is like Infinity War in-game level good, even if the Russo brothers really have cracked it and made the best possible story that they could have, like there's no way that Doomsday trailer is going to reach Dune 3 level hype or Odyssey hype. You know what I mean? It's just it's over.
Dude,
The moment's over.
you are so right because that got me thinking with Dune 3, there's been two trailers for that movie so far. The teaser came out like 3 months ago. This trailer's even better, and I still feel like they're not showing us everything. Like they're very much where I kind of get the idea of the story, but I just know there's going to be so many more surprises. Whereas Doomsday, smart to wait for Dune 3 to have all of their marketing come out. They will be able to kind of suck up the hype for a little bit, but dude, it has got to be a perfect trailer. Like it has to be perfect and show they have to show us like stuff that they were probably planning on saving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and well, like not just that, but like if you look at the Odyssey trailers and the Dune trailers, like you can feel the scale of it.
Yeah.
Like you can
Yeah.
feel like the like you can see where all the money went with all the like the
Yeah, of
sets and
course.
the
Of
architecture and the
course.
costumes. And I just feel like with Marvel, man, like the I have defended them for years from all the like, oh, the CGI, this, and you can tell it's a like you know, remember in Infinity War when Iron Man and Spider Man and the Guardians are on that alien planet, and it looks
Yeah.
like you can definitely tell it's a green screen. Like I don't care about that kind of shit, but I know a lot of people do.
Same.
I'm just like when I see the Doomsday trailer, like when I think about what the Doomsday trailer is going to look like, I just feel like it's going to be like that kind of like green screen thing. CGI monster after CGI robot after whatever, and it's not going to have like this epic feel. Now, I could be wrong. I would love to be wrong. Doctor Doom is like known for his like Eastern European like castles and that kind of shit. So like they could cook. Russo brothers haven't let me down before with Marvel. I just don't think it could be great, dude. It could be like 95% score Rotten Tomato. You know what I mean? It could be a 10 out of 10 movie and it just not reach that level of scale that these trailers for the Odyssey and it's you know what I mean. And it makes me sad because everybody wants that, but
You're right. And the sad thing too is like, well, the good thing, Dune 3 and the Odyssey, Christopher Nolan, Denis Villeneuve, they're kind of teaming up together, right? So he just announced today, and this is something we've known all along, that when you go see the Odyssey in 70 millimeter IMAX, you get to see not only, I think, the trailer for Dune 3, but they're going to show a little prologue, like probably a 5 to 6 minute clip for Dune Part 3. It's like it's working together, right? So that's great advertising. Doomsday has Brand New Day, which would be great. Like they should do that, but there's been no announcement whatsoever for like go to Brand New Day, like the Doomsday. You're gonna see a big extended clip for Doomsday at the beginning or at the end. That's kind of weird, right? Like you would think they would want to,
well,
use
I
their
think
other movie to market.
so. I think that's what they're gonna try to do with the whole go see Endgame again. Um,
True. Yeah, that's
I
true.
think they'll probably want if not like a prologue, then maybe like another like added in because Avengers Endgame didn't have a post credit scene, so maybe they'll add one there.
Yeah.
My prediction is that Brand New Day. I've given this a fair amount of thought. I could be wrong. My prediction is that Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to have a post credit scene teasing the Raimi Tobey Maguire Spider-Man universe again.
That's how you do it. You got to do it that way.
That's
That's
like
how you do it.
and it's like it's kind of like I don't want it to be done because it's so cliche, but you also like you kind of have to do it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe I'm dead wrong on that, but if I were a betting man, I'd be betting on a Toby tease to drive people to the theaters.
You definitely, and that would get me like I would temporarily forget about Dune 3 for a little bit if I saw that. You know what I mean? Of
Yeah.
like, oh, Dune, I have to go see Doomsday first.
You know what they should do, dude? What they should do is like at some point in the I don't know when would be the right point to do this, but at some point in the lead up to Doomsday, announce Raimi Spider-Man 4 and be like, it's going to deal with the aftermath of Doomsday, Secret Wars, and then that would drive hype to the theaters too.
That would top everything if they did that. But yeah, it's you would think though. I guess for those of you that don't know, they are re-releasing Endgame in September. With I mean, obviously they're going to have something with Doomsday attached to that to get people to go and watch it. But it's still like, why would you not attach something to Brand New Day, which is already breaking ticket sales record? Like that movie's going to make so much money. Even if Brand New Day sucks, we're talking like the floor for I think is 1.5 billion. I think that is the floor for this movie.
For which movie? Brand New Day?
Brand New Day. I think that's the least amount of money the movie will make, even if it's terrible. I think that's going to make a ton of money. Do you
Dude,
agree?
okay. I think let me look at the past couple. So, do you remember how much money Far From Home made? The
I have
second.
no idea. I can't remember what Homecoming or Far From Home made.
Oh no, I think Far From Home made a lot of money too. Let's go. Okay, let's go to Homecoming. Homecoming made 880 million.
Okay,
Pretty damn good, especially
that's
coming
good.
off of like the last because the Amazing Spider-Man 2, if I remember correctly, was like really pretty low in terms
It
of
was
Spider-Man
bad.
movies.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Far From Home 1.133 billion,
Okay,
and then let's see, No Way Home 1.9. But I'll never get over that as long as I live, dude. One almost two, basically
it's
$2 billion.
insane, dude. I don't think Brand New Day will reach that, but I see it sitting comfortably at like 1.6 or 1.7 because call me crazy. There's just not been a good Marvel movie in a long time. And this one, people want to see Spider-Man. He's one of the best characters in the MCU. He's the most popular. That's just my prediction. Maybe it's too high, but I think it's going to make an absurd amount of money. Is it August? There's nothing coming out, so it's just going to rule all of August.
I'm gonna do a conservative estimate and just say 1.2.
Okay.
Like I think it'll top Far From Home. Um, because like there's multiple things going on with Brand New Day. Because yes, Marvel hasn't been hitting like they used to, and that drives like or that decreases hype for things like Doomsday and new characters and stuff like that. But what people don't really talk about as much is that at the same time as it's decreasing hype for some things, it's increasing hunger for other things like a classic Spider-Man movie. You know what I mean? So people want it to be good. They want those classic Spider-Man hits. They're not going to get as excited for like Shang-Chi and Sam Wilson and Captain Marvel teaming up. You know what I mean? Like they would
Yes.
for their original Avengers. So I think it's going to make a lot of money. I think because the trailers have also been breaking records for Brand New Day. I mean, people are really interested in this movie. And just to top it all off, my little cherry on top. Um, I think this is the best Spider-Man suit. I think this is like the best Spider-Man suit in live action I've ever seen. So everything
Yes.
about this movie just looks beautiful. Um,
I
and
will. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
I mean, I was just gonna say I'm personally hyped for Punisher, but I don't think Punisher, probably not even Hulk. I don't think Punisher and Hulk really have much to do with what's driving the hype for this movie or what would drive like the box office. I think people are just hungry for Spider-Man specifically. Like it used to be like, oh, let's put Robert Downey Jr., let's put Samuel L. Jackson, let's put Benedict Cumberbatch, and like I think that was part of those movies' successes. But I think at this point, like Tom Holland's enough star power and Spider-Man, people are hungry for Spider-Man that you know, it's kind of Tom doing it on his own.
Yeah, the I will say if it doesn't hit 1.5, I did forget that the Odyssey will have the IMAX screens. I think that's going to hurt its box office money like chances of hitting 1.5 a little bit just because I don't know if Brand New Day will ever get to go to the IMAX, but it's kind of weird because for you does I haven't really enjoyed some of the past Marvel movies as much as you have that have come out after No Way Home. But for me, when I watch Brand New Day and when I think about it, to me, there's no other Marvel movie that exists. I feel like this one is taking place directly after No Way Home and that there was nothing in between it. Like, I almost feel like there was no Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, nothing like that. So that's another reason I'm excited because I'm like, oh, finally, they're continuing the story, like the main story, you know?
It's weird because like in the fictional universe, it's been 4 years. You know, like
Yeah, you're
as
right.
in real life, or I think in real life it's been more like 4.5. But in universe it's been 4 years, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels
No,
from the trailers, it feels like oh, it's just the next year they went to college. You know, but yeah.
we'll see.
What do
Shifting
you
things.
okay? Since we're
Yeah,
here,
yeah, yeah.
what do you think is like between and instead of going all the way back to No Way to Endgame, let's go back to No Way Home. What's been your favorite MCU movie since No Way Home?
Guardians 3, for sure.
Guardians 3. That's
Yeah,
solid.
for sure. What about you?
I'm looking at. Oh, yeah. For me, it's easy. Guardians 3, I love. Guardians 3. I think Guardians 3 is probably objectively the best.
Mhm.
But from just subjective enjoyment, Doctor Strange 2.
Oh,
For sure.
yeah, that's my second favorite. I love Doctor Strange too.
Yeah, which is crazy to me because I didn't. I Doctor Strange 1 is like bottom tier MCU for me, but Doctor Strange 2 is like top tier,
It's amazing. Doctor Strange 2 is amazing.
which is like the opposite of fan consensus. Most fans are like, "Oh no, it's flipped." Yeah, so,
Yeah, most people don't like Doctor Strange 2, but I think it's so fun. It's like so much fun.
yeah. Thanks, Lizzie Olsen.
Transitioning to the Odyssey, real quick, I have to mention Robert Pattinson. What a year that man is having, dude.
Yeah, I
What
guess
a
he's
year. Like he's got Dune 3, Odyssey. He had the drama earlier this year. He has a movie called Prime Time coming out in a few months. And I think he did a movie with Denzel Washington that might be coming out this year. I don't know if they're going to hold it till next year. But he's also filming the Batman Part 2. Like, that's one of the greatest years for an. I know Zendaya is also in a few of those, but like, I
yeah.
think Pattinson kind of edges her out a little bit with just the things he's
She's
working on and whatnot.
Batman.
It's insane.
Do you think there's a chance that Pattinson is like in the running for stuff next year? Because like people are talking about, from what I'm not as into this as you are, but people are talking about Tom Cruise is aiming for some things. There's all these other different actors who are aiming for things, but I feel like people aren't talking enough about Pattinson.
I agree with you. I say never, dude. I used to always, say that certain acting nominations would be insane, but who knows? I mean, Dune 3, I didn't really think that anything would take the hype away from the Odyssey, just because from everything I've seen and heard, I feel like that's kind of the best picture front runner for obvious reasons. But after seeing the Dune 3 trailer, I'm like, well, dang. I mean, Timmy could get nominated for Best Actor. Pattinson easily could get nominated for Supporting Actor. So I think he could totally get nominated for something.
What's the movie he did with Zendaya, the rom com?
The drama.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about the drama and the Odyssey and Dune 3, and I've only seen the trailers for these. I didn't see the drama, but it just seems like that Robert Pattinson, he's just playing different, really crazy different roles,
So
and
different.
somebody's got to put some respect on his name. You know what I mean? Like somebody's got to
Yeah.
like acknowledge that, oh, this dude's kind of like acting circles around a lot of people in very very diverse ways.
Yeah, Nolan even said in an interview, I think it was for like an Oppenheimer junket when he was talking about Nolan or talking about Pattinson in Tenet. I think he literally said verbatim, Pattinson can do anything. Like he can literally do anything if he puts his mind to it. There's nothing he can't do. So I agree, dude. I would love to see him get nominated for literally anything he's been in. I don't care what the movie is, just like nominate him for something. But yeah, Odyssey, that movie comes out. We're about a week away from that because it comes out technically next Thursday. It's about 7 or 8 days. Are you hyped for this movie, dude?
I unfortunately can't be hyped for the Odyssey because next weekend when it comes out is my statistics midterm exam.
That
So,
sucks, dude. Horrible timing.
dude, like the worst timing. So, I mean, there's like for this midterm exam, there's like a written like type component and an oral component. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to try to do the written one on like Friday night or Saturday morning. Then I've got the oral component and like later in the day on Saturday, and I think Saturday night because I'll be like, okay, whew, thank God, exam over. I'm gonna hit the theater and watch the Odyssey. So I'm hyped, man. I don't have as much time to like think about it and like read interviews as I wish I had.
Yeah, once you take your test, you'll be like Odyssey. You'll be hyped to go.
I'm gonna take an Odyssey of my own to downtown Boston.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be like I still right now I still think this is the movie to beat for just awards stuff in general because you just have to respect the amount of like practical effects and length they went to create this story. And as far as box office goes, I know you wanted to talk about this for a little bit. This is going to be a massive movie at the box. I think this is going to be massive at the box office. What do you think? What do you think about like we've seen some reactions on social media. Reviews aren't released yet, but the reactions on Twitter have been insanely positive. What do you think this movie will make at the end of its run worldwide at the box office?
What was that show that they're kind of like they do what we do but better?
I forget what it's called, but it's the one that Cinema Joe does, like House of Cinema or something like
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they were guessing in the 800 to 1.2 billion range. Wasn't that their guess, I
Yeah,
think?
yeah. They
800
said
mil.
800 to 1.2 is what they all kind of guessed.
Yeah, it's hard. How much money did Oppenheimer make?
$975 million worldwide, which is insane.
That's insane.
That is insane. Like that's not an action movie. It's a drama, a 3 hour drama.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man, because like it kind of goes back to what we were saying a few episodes ago. Like, I think this movie could be flawless, and it's still like I think it's going to be a little more divisive of a movie. Um, I don't think it's going to reach the Oppenheimer level hype. Like, I think it's going to reach the hype, but I guess when I say that, I'm not talking about the box office. I'm talking about like what people actually think of the movie. I think people are going to say that he peaked with Oppenheimer. I'm worried that he may have peaked with Oppenheimer personally, just my own
That's fair.
irrational.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because I mean, it's just so, like the only me, dude. The only strike I have against Oppenheimer is like there's like one little scene that I think is like a little tint on like this perfect sculpture, which we can talk about in another video. But um, yeah, man, it's hard for me to predict to give it a box office prediction. I think people are gonna say it's good, a good but a step down. But then there was other reactions, dude, over the weekend that broke where people are like, "This is like he's doing shit that's never been done in the history of film." You know what I mean? So it's like if you're saying shit like that, maybe it could overtake Oppenheimer. Who fucking knows?
Yeah, it's the big selling point for sure. Like talking about the locations that have never been filmed at, everything being done in camera, little to no CGI. My biggest concern with the Odyssey, which I did not even think would become a thing, is that you see people like Elon Musk hating on it for being too woke for some of the casting choices. I don't know how much that's going to translate to the followers of Elon Musk and people who kind of believe what he has to say, because we've seen in the past movies be affected by that. I think the Odyssey also held a record for having like the most dislikes for a trailer in a certain amount of time. Now that those could have been bots, but I like to think that hopefully people will overlook those things and still go watch the movie, because I think it's personally going to hit at least 1 billion, because he's adapting a book that's a universal story that everyone knows. It's not just an American story. This is a book that everyone knows about and most people have read all around the world. So I think it'll do
Yeah,
pretty good worldwide. I'm just nervous
I
about its
mean,
domestic, its US box office numbers.
yeah, I mean that's a good point, dude. I think it could hit 1 billion when you put it like that. I mean, look at Barbie. I mean, I know Barbie kind of got caught up in the Oppenheimer, like Barbenheimer.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of it's a thing unto itself, but people really protested that movie because they were like woke this, woke
They
that.
did,
But I
you're
mean,
right. Yeah.
1.4, almost 1.5 billion fucking.
Yeah, dude,
You
you're
know
right. That's a
what
good
I mean?
point.
Like,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
so it's like sometimes like the left will get up in arms about something and it'll make a dent. Sometimes the right will get up in something and it'll make a dent. But then sometimes they both, one or the other, will get up in arms and it doesn't make a dent. So it's just like there's all kinds of different factors. For me, this movie doesn't seem like this moment doesn't seem like it's going to be affected by the Musks of the world
I hope not. Yeah, I hope not.
in terms of box office. I think it will muddy the discussion about it, the discourse.
No, I agree. Yeah, the reviews for sure, but the money, like it's for sure gonna make, like it's gonna make money. This is not a movie that's going to bomb, and I think everyone's gonna be very excited when it comes out. And for me right now on July 8th, I think this is the movie to beat for Best Picture. Even having seen the Dune 3 trailer, like I love what I've seen. I'm so excited for that movie.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's tough because you have something that's, the Dune trilogy is kind of similar to the Lord of the Rings in that, it's these massive movies and adaptation. It's been called impossible to adapt, but Denis looks like he did it. Looks like the third one's going to be the best one. But
Mhm.
you also have the Odyssey, which is this universal story that everyone around the world knows. I can't think of another director who could have pulled this off in camera. They invented a new IMAX camera just to shoot this thing, going to places in the world that have never been shot in before. That's hard to beat. You know what I mean? Like these are two juggernauts going after one another.
So I'm going to take this opportunity to engage in my favorite hobby, which is to shit talk James Cameron.
Okay, okay, let's do it.
uh, you said no one else could do it. I was like, oh, James Cameron could do it, and then I was like, no, he couldn't.
I would love to
So
see his version of the Odyssey, but he would just make a very different, it'd be in 3D and there'd be a lot of CGI with the monsters. But I mean, dude, this is like,
be some blue people in there for some reason.
for sure. Yeah, this is like Nolan doing this. Let's just say the movie is what we expect. It's like 92% Rotten Tomatoes, universally beloved. No one's topping it. You know what I mean? Like there's not going to be another crack at the Odyssey for ages. Like it's just going to be, that's the one.
There's
Yeah.
there's not going to be a lot of cracks at the Odyssey for ages, but there's going to be a shit ton of Iliad adaptations.
Oh, dude, it's coming, dude. They're gonna try to like greenlight all of these like Greek movies, and it's just not gonna. They haven't
It's gonna
worked, dude. They've never worked
it's
for
gonna be
years.
like it's gonna be analogous to like when 2012 May 2012 Marvel came in and kicked everyone's ass with the Avengers, and
Yes,
everybody's like, oh my god, we have to have a cinematic universe now.
yes.
Monsters, scary movie Monsters has a cinematic universe now, and it's gonna be the same kind of thing. They're gonna get a Troy reboot. We're gonna do the Trojan War
Yeah,
revisited,
no,
like
seriously.
all that
They're
shit,
gonna do an HBO show like of the Trojan War,
and I
and
can't wait.
oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna watch all of it. It's my favorite. Like sword and sandal movies are one of my favorite subgenres of
Well,
film.
dude, between the Odyssey and like even like the moment that Christian movies are having right now,
Yeah, true.
with like Chosen having like the Chosen Con, and then you have like your little Angel Studios cult people, um, and then like a lot of other like Christian movies definitely have taken a step up. They're still pretty low on the
Agree.
quality thing, but they've taken a step up, and I think between that and then this renewed interest that we're about to see in classics right now, like it's kind of the perfect storm for people like us to be like, oh hell yeah.
This is like the best possible. We'll miss the superhero stuff. You definitely will because it's your favorite. But if the shift is going toward this stuff, best possible shift of all time. Like this is what I want to see.
We've got less than a minute before our Zoom turns off, but even if that happens, though, I won't really be too mad because if the MCU goes underground, then that's just another chapter in its story, and it becomes it's cool in that way too.
For sure. Yeah. We could talk much more about this, but we do have to go. We're running out of time. Jake, where can the people find you?
JKH Bennett at Letterboxd, LinkedIn, and TikTok.
And you can find me, Tyler Tompkins, on TikTok and Twitter. We will be back very soon with another podcast episode. See ya.